Alice, before we met, I never dreamed that I could be as happy and as calm as I am every day that I spend with you. You are so beautiful and funny and the most thoughtful and considerate person that I've ever met. I don't think I'll ever appreciate just how lucky I am that we fell in love. I promise to spend every weekend at Coffee Club with you, to always hold the shock until you get a dodge, and to get you Lucozade when you're feeling poorly. I will always be there to talk about your day, to cuddle up with you for afternoon movie club, and to explore Greek islands and capital cities together. I will give you all that I have to give, and I will be at your side through everything. Now and forever, I love you.
When Alice first asked me to do this, I said, no thanks. She asked me a second time and I politely declined. By the third time, I said, I'd absolutely love to, it'd be an honour, because if you know Alice, you know you don't say no 3 times. She may be stubborn, but that comes with great loyalty, kindness, generosity and intelligence. In fact, she was always the most intelligent person I knew, until Joe came along. Now the two of them make an unstoppable pub quiz team.
So Alice and I have been together since 2018, but we actually first met 2 years before that, in the summer of 2016 at a colleague's leaving drinks, in the summer during the Euros. And I will always remember that date, 10th of June 2016, because Dimitri Payet scored an absolute banger in the last minute to beat Romania in the opening match. We chatted throughout the night, getting progressively drunker until we said our goodbyes. And I remember hoping to speak to her again, but it turns out the feeling wasn't quite mutual, as Alice was so embarrassed by how drunk we were, she proceeded to ignore me for the next 2 years. And there's nothing like being completely and utterly ignored for 2 years for a man to think, yeah, I reckon she's into me, yeah. I'm in it, yeah. So then, in February 2018, when the Beast from the East snowstorm hit the UK, we were paired up on an audit in the middle of nowhere. We threw snowballs at each other, and Alice gave me a red rose after our first unofficial date at the Curry House, both of which she still insists wasn't flirting, but I mean, come on. So after the audit, I was at my parents' for the weekend, and I was telling them about work and the job and this girl that I was stuck in a snowstorm with. And my dad would later tell me that he could tell just by the way I was talking about her that I was clearly smitten with her. Our first official date eventually took place on Brick Lane, and after a curry, rice naan and a cobra for £12, the rest, they say, is history.
So Joe, as you already know, Alice is strong-willed, sharp-minded, and a force to be reckoned with. But more importantly, she's kind, loyal, loving to those who matter most. She's the perfect daughter to her mum and me. Sorry. She's a true friend, and without doubt, a truly exceptional young woman. So you're a very lucky man.
Joe, you're the most wonderful person I've ever known, and this is the happiest day of my life. I'm sure it was clear at the time, but I was so surprised when you got down on one knee 17 months ago. The truth is, I had never dared to dream of getting married. When you proposed to me that day, you gave me the most beautiful gift I've ever received. You convinced me that I was deserving of your love just as I am, and I'm so thankful that you did. You are my warmth, you are my home, and you are my joy, and I'm so eternally grateful to be loved by you. From today and for the rest of our lives together, I promise to try to make you as happy as you make me. I promise to be your partner, your confidant, and your biggest supporter. I promise to watch any football game with you, to be your private chef, and to ask you about your day every single day. I promise to adventure with you as long as our legs can carry us, to grow old with you and to love you endlessly as I always have.
So, Joe and Alice, you truly are the perfect match. What started out as a work-colleague relationship has grown into something much stronger. You've created a wonderful home in Greenwich with its interior design looks and a dedicated room for the rabbits. And I'm pleased to report that Alice's approach to household order and tidiness has definitely improved.
Out of the blue, one Friday back in 2018, Joey was insistent that I come across to Crow's work drinks on a Friday night. He'd been there 2 years and I'd never been invited before. So I quickly pressed him on why, and it quickly became apparent that he wanted a wingman for the evening, which was a dreadful idea. He assured me that it wouldn't matter if I missed my last train home, I could stay at his, not a problem. So after my own work drinks, I made my way across London. Now, unfortunately for Joey, he'd actually done quite a good job himself by this point, and he had Alice secluded in a corner. Furthermore, by this point, I'd now missed my last train, I didn't know anyone else there, and I was drunk enough to ignore common social etiquette. The crestfallen look on Joey's face as I lumbered across the bar still haunts me to this day. Looking back at that night, I think even then you both knew that you had something special. It's the only time I've ever seen either of you stay for a full night out. And Since then, it's been a pleasure getting to know Alice and watching you both grow as a couple. You complement each other perfectly, and whether it's your trivia knowledge dovetailing perfectly, or whether you're launching an impassioned two-pronged defence of each other to confuse someone in a game of Mafia. It's clear you're a brilliant team. You two are ideal for each other, and that's all you could ever want for your best friend.
My beautiful wife, Alice. Pretty much this whole day is from her 17-month master plan. She found the venue, all the decorations, she hand-stitched all those napkins, she stayed patient while I messed up the few things I was responsible for, and then handled pretty much everything else. But to be honest, that's much like our relationship. Alice just gets shit done. And luckily for me, she likes just having me around while she does it. And so I'm so happy to say that after today, you'll be having me around for the rest of our lives. I love you more than I thought it was possible to love anything. And everyone we know and care about is here today to celebrate that fact. So finally, I'd like to raise a toast to my incredible wife on what is the happiest day of my life. Cheers.
Mr. and Mrs. Jervis.